Per usual, everything on this channel is for educational purposes only and is not intended as financial advice. It is Tuesday, that means it's Teaching Tech Tuesday. I've had a lot of questions about better ways to look at charts, to look at all of the coins. Is that possible? It is possible. TradingView has a screening tool. They have two different types of screening tools that I'll talk about. One that they added probably about 6 months ago that I never really investigated that is quite robust. So we've got the toolbox. Now what are we going to look for? Well, one thing you could look for are edge-to-edge setups, trades on the weekly cloud. So let's look at all the coins on TradingView and let's look for these setups. We are in an environment pre-halving, Bitcoin's done well. What else is next, right? At this point, it's probably later than you usually want to look for this stuff in a screener, but just because a lot of people have been asking me, let's take a look. And the reason we're focused on these type of charts, we are looking for thickness of the cloud. We are looking for a bullish TK cross. You'll notice how this move didn't really fire until we had a bullish TK cross. So we have to think about ways to mathematically find that, ways to mathematically measure the depth of the cloud. And we can find all of that in the screener tool. So if you go to the top of TradingView, under products, you'll see screeners, two versions, crypto pairs, crypto coins. I'll get to the crypto pairs in a second, but the crypto coins version is what you're looking at here. And they have a ton of on-chain stuff, market cap, addresses, they have all sorts of fun stuff. Now you'll notice they have 749 coins listed. So that's definitely not everything, but it's a good smattering of them. They've even got a taxonomy, a soft taxonomy on here. So you can sort by layer ones, Web3, DeFi, just a super easy way to do that. DAO, I don't even know what else is even important. Oracles, there's probably like 5 of those. But if you're looking for something specific, CoinGecko is another place you can look at this type of categorization. But anyway, so we got the screener. And on the left, top left, there's a drop down where you can dig into popular screeners that they already have preset if you are kind of trying to figure out what to look for here. So one that I really like, high selling pressure, just as an example, if I'm looking to buy a knife, if I'm looking to buy blood, right? This is one way to do it. Look at addresses out of the money, addresses with X balance, so definitely play around with this stuff beyond what I'm showing because it's very powerful to just screen everything at once. This drills it down to 34 coins as far as most oversold by the looks of it, and then take it from there as far as your objective for trading. So let's search for edge-to-edge setups, flip over to the custom tab, and what you first need to do is go through these columns and add whatever you want. I've got RSI, I've got all of the Ichi lines that I'm looking for. You can search for this and add it. And one of the reasons I'm even talking about this today is because they specifically have the Ichi settings that I use. I don't know if they added this as a default or if it's based on my account, but in any event, you want 2061, 2030, you want the weekly time frame, and then add all 4 of these to the chart. You probably need a paid account for this, by the way. I'm not sure exactly. Then the next thing you want to do in the top left is export the results. That'll put it in a CSV format. And you can, of course, add any other indicator you want, any other on-chain data metric you want to look at. They have all sorts of fun stuff. So once we have what we want, we can port it over. We can put it into a Google Sheet doc like this. This is what the initial CSV is going to look like. So based on the math that we are looking for a thick cloud. We're looking for a bullish TK cross, ideally some combination of that setup. And for the cloud specifically, just make sure you know which is which here, AB, Tenkin, Kijun. The AB lines they're referring to are the cloud lines here. And what the screener will show you is the current weekly cloud level. So it's not going to show you 30 periods out. It's going to show you if this is right. This is just a way to check it. If we're looking for the current data, we should see somewhere around 42.4 and 26.6 as far as the A and the B on the screener, 42.2, 26.7. Okay, close enough. So that's correct. And then the Tenkin and the Kijun, you can just spot check real quick. because some of these I've noticed aren't exactly as they are on the chart. And I think that's because I don't actually know which exchanges they're using for all of these tokens. I'm sure if you drill down on the screener a little bit, there's probably a way to remove certain exchanges. On the other version of the screener, I know I'm jumping around a lot, but on the crypto pairs version of the screener, you can say, for instance, I only want to look at Kraken. Okay. Anyway, so we have our data. We know which lines are which. We've got our math set up. Not all of these 750 tokens are going to have a weekly cloud level, and you'll see that here. Some of these are stable coins, so you have to do a little bit of additional curation on the spreadsheet here, which I've done. So I did an if statement for the TK cross. We're looking at, how big is this cloud, and we can just spot check it, right? Some of these may not be correct, but we can go to like Dodo, for example, and let's see what this looks like on Binance. So currently, there's a mega, I always want to say MAGA. There's a mega edge to edge here. Even though these values probably don't line up exactly with the screener values for whatever reason, I don't know exactly why. Like there isn't a level at 1382, right? Not here. So some of the math is off slightly. Don't let that bother you. I don't think it's going to matter at the end of the day, but there's clearly a massive edge to edge here, right? And I wrote that out as a percentage, above where price is. You can do whatever you want math-wise. I just did like a quick and dirty version of this. So bullish TK cross, massive cloud. And then if we want to sort this by top 100, as far as, we'll call those high caps, and then 100 to 250, we'll call those mid caps. And then anything below 250, this isn't like a specific rule, just a mental model for separating these out as you're screening through this. So this gave us 243 in the bottom right there. 243 coins out of the 750. Okay. These are all the junk coins that either didn't have a weekly cloud. I know Helium, for example, some of these may have a cloud on like a daily. So if you want to mess around with the settings in the screener, some of those would come back in, but Helium is already broken out, right? So we would be looking for the next step, probably something like a Kijun retracement level as far as overbought, oversold. What percentage is price above the Kijun? That's another screener you could do. And if we look, just again, spot checking, Bitcoin is 10% above the cloud level. So that says the breakout's done, right? And as we go up the list here, you can see some of these still have a decent cloud left in them as far as where things could go. But if you want to go, max cloud thickness, highest cap, Flow shows up, Axie shows up, Filecoin. We've been talking about that one for a little while. Clayton, I haven't looked at, so let's take a look at that one. I'm sure I've looked at it one of these days. So this is a massive, I don't think it's looking at Binance because Binance, the cloud wouldn't have showed up yet on the chart. But in any event, this is a setup, right? From there, you can use the screening tool to decide whether or not you want to take that trade. And as a group, these all may play out after halving, through halving, they may not, right? You can find your favorite altcoin. Maybe you want to look at all of the DeFi coins, all of the dinosaur coins that probably are never coming back, right? like Waves, I wouldn't trust. I know Sia Coin, I also took out anything below a penny. Sia Coin's in here somewhere, but there are lots of ways you can like slice and dice this and try to find things that people probably aren't really talking about, but I think you get the point. So the next step would be creating a screener for that Kijun bounce stuff or distance from the Kijun oversold. I put RSI on here just as an example too. You can look at whatever you want, obviously. But I would definitely play around with the screener under the crypto coins version. On the pairs, for instance, if I wanted to search for everything on Kraken that has a BTC pair, some of this you're going to get, duplicate coins for whatever reason. But you can always export this and then manipulate it from there. I don't think they have the cloud settings we want, so keep that in mind. But this is a pretty powerful tool to just look at everything at once. If you're trying to find ideas based on certain technicals, maybe you want coins that are down the most on a quarterly basis, right? And then maybe you go from there on your screener to look for things to potentially rotate into post-halving. So I will put this spreadsheet in the description of this video. The next step would be to input live data into this stuff. End of day values is what you want, or end of week values. That's beyond the scope of this video, but this is a really quick and dirty and fun sort of way to just sift through everything all at once based on very specific parameters. And really the two keys here are they have the cloud settings I like, and you can pull the data off of TradingView using the export screen results button. That's all I have for this one today. Let me know if you thought this was helpful. If you have any other ideas of screeners we can set up, we can get those going and look at those from time to time. Like, dislike, comment, share, subscribe, and happy trading.